gentlemen, we are here. Recording is up in the corner here, Marques, which means I know I'm live. Now, I say this all the time, but you notice how my tone just changed?
Yes.
See, I've got my recording voice. I've got my broadcasting voice. Then I got my Tim hanging out voice. That's not even what it sounds like. You got to hang out with me to know that Tim voice. But my friend Marques Johnson, how are you, sir?
I'm doing pretty well. How about yourself?
I was talking to Marques on the phone, and I'm like, hey, Marques, before we start, get too far into talking trading, why don't you come and let me interview you for my new video series? And that's why we're here. We're calling this 5 Questions, and Tim interviews traders. All right, Marques, do you know what that acronym stands for?
Which acronym?
Tim interviews traders.
No.
Just spell it.
Well, I wasn't sure if that's where you were going with this or not.
It was not intentional, by the way, and we're thinking about changing the name, but oh, too funny. All right, number 1, same 5 questions I've asked everybody, by the way. Why did you get into trading?
I wanted to make a difference in my life. I knew there had to be something more than just having a Roth IRA.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't know what that was, though. But I knew to be in control with my financial future, there had to be more than just this. There had to be.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't want to rely on just one thing for a source of income, because that can stress things out if something falls through. What if I get hurt? I can't go to work and I have a family. What if I get laid off? Like, there has to be something different. There has to be something that can give me a peace of mind. And I knew there was something out there for it. There's multiple ways to make money, but I had to find out something that I wanted to do and something I can do and be passionate about it at the same time too, because knowing me, I know when I'm passionate about something, I'm not going to give up.
Mm-hmm.
With fitness, I'm a big fitness guy. Like, the way I am today with fitness, how to eat, how to work out, it's refined every single year. Every single year is refined. And so, because I enjoy it. There were days where I didn't lift as much weight. There were years where I didn't look as good. There were years where I thought I knew how to eat, eating peanut butter and jelly, cereal, oatmeal and eggs. I thought that was the diet. Now I'm so much more refined. I can speak to someone with confidence about eating, working out. And that's the way I need to be, or want to be, will be with trading. I found something that I'm enthusiastic about. I love it. It just gives me a peace of mind. And I see what it can provide for my future.
Yeah, by the way, I didn't even properly introduce Marques. Marques is an old friend of mine. He's actually been traveling on the road for a couple of years helping traders. You're a personal fitness guy as well. You actually work with people one-on-one and help them get into shape and whatnot. Is that right?
Yes, sir. That's where this came from.
Yeah. And the first time you actually that I met you, Marques, was probably in an online environment, but I didn't know you yet.
Yeah.
And then you started traveling for Legacy Education, and you became a coach for them. And started working with new traders and whatnot. Been around the markets for 2-3 years now. Is that right?
This is year 3.
Wow. It's pretty awesome. And number 2, what is your trading edge? What are you good at?
I would say being patient.
Mm-hmm.
I would say being patient.
Patient on entry or patient on exit?
Entry.
Okay. So like, you'll plan a trade thoroughly and make sure that you've got all the ducks lined up and before you take a trade.
Yeah, I would say entry. That's gotten significant. I would say that's what I predicate myself on the most, being patient. Mm-hmm. Making sure, if I see a breakout, is it a clean, strong breakout, versus just, hey, my alert went off 9:35 a.m. I'm not jumping into that right away. That can turn right back around the next minute. Next 10 minutes or so. Mm-hmm. So I've learned to let the market digest, let it do what it wants to do, and don't feel pressured to get in right away. Because I've seen it, when I first started trading, I get an alert 9:31 a.m. So I'm getting in. The next thing you know, I'm down $50, $100, the next 10 minutes later. So with the experience, I just known to just give things time, let things digest, And then from there, you know, I got to be comfortable with what I see. So I would say patience getting into a trade.
I like that answer a lot. I mean, you know, the reality is more prep on risk and risk assessment and making sure that you have a well-designed strategy is something that most traders should take advice on, quite frankly. People rush in to positions because they want to be in the market, you know, and I get it. I get the greed element of it. The market's screaming up or it's going down and you've been taught how to trade. You want to make some money. You're going to get pulled into that. Take a step back, plan your trade your plan. I love that answer. What is your daily routine? Question number 3.
Every day, I check futures right away. Right away. Futures, SPY, crude oil. Those are the main 2, natural gas, the Russell. So I check the major indices every morning. Mm-hmm. Usually right in the morning, as soon as I wake up, even if though it's like 4:30, 5 o'clock, I kind of like to see what's happening overnight. Now, I know that can change by 9:30, but I just want to get it. For me, I like just a general feel of what can I kind of expect going into the day. Then from there, I usually like to go on investing.com and look at the top 5 things to know for the market today, just to know what to be prepared for. Is there is the Federal Reserve having a speech today? Is Jerome Powell speaking? You know, is there a jobs report this Friday? You know, things like that are pivotal because depending on what I'm trading, that can kind of dictate how my positions react. And then based off that, what are my positions? What do I need to be prepared for? Do I have my alerts set up? You know, if something is going in the direction I wanted to or going against me. And then from there, I kind of assess, okay, if this does go against me, what's my plan to do? Okay, so, you know, if I have a bull put spread and I feel like I'm in danger, okay, if this breaks a certain level, all right, maybe I turn this into an iron condor. So that's kind of what, that's my daily routine. It's not as long as it used to be anymore. It's about, 15, 20 minutes?
Yeah. Well, you know, and I love the process, you know, news, investing.com, top 5 things, get the bullet points, move into the market. I like that. I like the efficiency of it. Number 4, what are your trading goals? Could be this year, could be this month, could be daily, whatever it is you want. What are your trading goals?
My goal is I want to always at minimum bring in anywhere between 5 to 7% a month, you know, on a monthly basis. That's what I'm looking for, at least. You know, nothing extremely aggressive, but if I can bring in 5% a month, you know, doing cash flow systems, more aggressive trading like, you know, bull calls, long calls. But if I can at minimum bring in 5, 7% a month plus more, you know, there are times where, you know, I'm down a month where I didn't make money. There are times where I made more than what I expected. But if it balances out over the course of the year, where I'm profitable, and I felt like I was a better trader than I was a year before, that's what I'm looking for. Because at the end of the day, I want this to be a business for myself. So I want to see consistency on a monthly, year in and year out basis. So if I'm able to accomplish those goals on a month in and month out basis, I feel like I'm doing the right thing.
I love that. Okay, last one. What advice would you give a brand new trader?
Keep going. Keep going. I've had big losses. But quitting never came into my mind because I feel like the reason for why I want to do this is so strong. Quitting's never even a thought. You got to keep going because you're going to be questioned. You're going to question yourself. You're going to question your system. You're going to question the person who taught you how to trade. The market will teach you that you don't know the market, you know? And it's like you have to realize, you have to trust what you're doing is right. Because the market will do whatever it wants to do on a day in and day out basis. But you just have to have the willpower to keep going no matter what. Keep going. And it's like once you get to that threshold when you first start and you just have a system, you know what to do for each situation, then that's when you know you're onto something. That's when you know. So, because I remember when I first started, I started questioning myself, like, is what Tim and Matt were telling me really true? You know, I was over position size and things of that sort. So what I had to do is I had to get help. You know, I got help by Micah Brooks. You know, he didn't help me out with anything mechanical. It was just that I was putting too much into one trade. Like that was my biggest obstacle. You know, he liked the way I was trading, but I was just putting too much into one account. And so, but I just remember that time, you know, when I lost, you know, almost like 20% of my account in a matter of weeks. You know, that was it was big for me.
I remember talking to you then.
Yeah, it was emotional for me.
I remember hearing the emotion in your voice. You know, it's why we have community. It's why we have relationships like this, Marques, because none of us, especially as retail traders, you know, I'm in my office here, my home office in Utah. You're hanging out in Virginia. You know, we're not exactly on Wall Street with $1 billion portfolio working for Goldman Sachs, right? We have to find our edge in the market, even against a competitive marketplace that is enormous. And so connections like this are important. And I'll never forget the conversation you and I had, because I have more experience than you. I'm 10 years older than you, you know, so, and I've been around the market 13 years instead of 3. So it's literally about a 10-year difference between when you started and I started. And it reminded me of moments I had when I was a new trader. And you're like, holy cow, Tim, the market just crashed and I got beat up bad on this position. And that was hard for you, wasn't it?
Oh, it was. I feel like I was starting all over again. Now that was hard because I felt like I was doing so well up to that moment. So well. And I'm just like, I'm asking myself, like, how could this happen to me? You know, like, what was the point of me putting in all that work in the first place? You know, I just feel like I put it all to waste.
You ever read this book?
I have not.
This is mandatory reading for you, young man. Okay.
Sure. I will.
Do you know how to spell reminiscences?
You've asked me this like 4 times. Every time.
Reminiscences of a Stock Operator by Edwin Lefevre, one of the best trading books of all time, written almost 100 years ago, actually, Marques. You'll notice it's an old copy. I've spilled coffee on it and marked it up several times. You know, one of the lessons he talks about in this book is losing money and how he wanted to quit. And then eventually, one of the best lessons I learned from this book, almost more than anything else, because he doesn't ever teach, you know, how he's trading. Well, I'd say there's 2 lessons. Number 1, trade with momentum. The whole idea of reading the tape is if the tape is going up or down in price, then you play the tape. You play the momentum, right? You know, number 2 is if you have a rough patch in the market, go to New Jersey. Or go to Florida, or go fishing for a month. And Jesse Livermore talks about that. When he's not trading well, he gets out of the market and goes and takes a break and lets his brain reset. Because when you're dealing with the emotions and you deal with an extreme drawdown like that, where you're doing well and you're doing well and you're doing well and you're doing well, and then boom, the market hits you right in the face. And you have a drawdown and you're looking at it and you're like, I thought I was better than this, you know? I thought I was good enough to see this and do something about it. I was trained to recognize it. But it happens to the best of us, dude. I'm telling you, it does.
Exactly what happened to me, you know. What bothered me most was that it was so avoidable.
Yeah.
But I would have to say greed got in the way of that loss. Greed got in the way. And but yeah, I'll never forget that. So that's one of my stories down the line. You know, maybe, you know, the way you are talking to me, I can convey to somebody else.
This is why we call it tits, by the way.
Yeah. That's right.
I apologize if I offend you. I'm not easily offended. Marques, you're a good man. Good job on this one. I'm going to, you know, just tell everybody out there, listen to the advice Marques just gave you. Through some rough patches, and you're going to have them, not just in trading, but in life, you got to keep going. You got to keep pushing. Awesome job, Marques, and we will be back next week with another one of these deals.